Good day, everyone. Hi, this is Suzanne Chapel, or some of you know me as Aradia. I'm here, I have this PowerPoint presentation which I'm about to show you, and we had some technical difficulties with it, so we're going to run it like this, and this is a presentation I put together for the Spring Festival of Awareness 2016. The topic here is called Earthing Coils, Tapping the Source. The 6 cymatic sciences that are involved in earthing coils, using cymatic waves for practical uses, and how this green technology works. So, we're going to go, this is our page. And hi, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Suzanne Chapel, and I am the inventress of the earthing coil, and I'm about to give you a dissertation on their workings. I hope you enjoyed this song. That's one of my own. I wrote and performed, and we'll be hearing this song at the end. First of all, what we're looking at here is the 5 sciences that are involved in the earthing coils. We started with Tesla, and then went to Rodin, and Jenny, and Schumann, and Harmonic. And those are the 5 main sciences involved in the earthing coils. I will be talking about each of these scientific people and the things that they gave us, they gave to humanity, and how I put them all together. So let's move along then. Yes, so we want to make clear that some of the uses, practical uses of the E-Coils. So we did some tested water last year, 2014-15, and 2015 we did some studies with some plants, and we got a 90% increase in the radishes and 110% increase with the lettuce. Yeah, so in validated studies done this fall and winter, we found an increase in germination rates, better physiology of plants, including root mass, the plants absorbing more nutrients from the soil. In this photograph, we have a definite increase in fruiting buds and flowers. This cactus someone in my family had, and I gave them a coil for Christmas, and it had no flowers on it at all. It was barely dead, almost dead, when got to it. And 45 days later, it had 18 flowers and 6 buds. And we just thought that was quite amazing. Scientific studies in our E-Coils say, I'm pleased to announce that Suzanne Chapel's earthing coils, E-Coils, have yielded positive and significant results in the following experiments and tests. All tests have been conducted in a strictly controlled environment by professional scientists. In plants, effects observed, compared to control, better developed root system, include mass and physiology of roots, higher germination rate, improved metabolism, less roots or nutrients needed for equivalent biomass and or harvest yield, indicating that you'll get a larger yield if you use the same amounts of nutrients. Okay, let's get going now. The sciences behind it all. Where did it all start? In the beginning was the Word. The Word was cymatic frequency, expressed as color and sound and shape, waveforms. These are some of the frequencies of living beings, the like of which you will find in the very large and very small. The cymatic wave took form from the particles of matter in its environment. And that is where the journey began. Yes, matter is manifested frequency, solidified, changing the wave form into a wave particle. If you collapse an underwater bubble with a sound wave, light is produced. Nobody yet knows why. But if you think about what this is saying, you begin to understand how waves can change, how waves manifest in different ways. And on the right, we see a manifestation of one of Dr. Emoto's pieces of work where they took energy from intent and feelings, put them into the water, and then froze them. And then this is the type of molecule we are seeing in the water that change into the geometric shape fields that's happening when an intent is pure and true and gets picked up by the water. But something happened that made me work extra hard. The Lemon Creek spill. Lemon Creek residents demand water results. People in the Spokane Valley say they are frustrated that officials will not release the results of water tests after last month's jet fuel spill, saying the data belongs to the company responsible for the spill. Some residents say their water still smells of jet fuel even after the Health Authority lifted all drinking water restrictions. There are still remaining fuel pockets showing up in the areas, and that has been okay for swimming and drinking and irrigation, says Austin Greengrass. Greengrass is one of several people wondering why the province lifted the drinking water ban so quickly after the tanker truck spilled 35,000 liters of jet fuel into Lemon Creek in late July. This is how the youth felt about losing their pristine creek that feeds the Spokane River, which feeds the Columbia. Now I made a concerted effort to use my knowledge and know-how to find a way to restore our environment. Tesla taught us that by wrapping wire around a cylinder or tori, it increases or amplifies any energy within its polarity. This is known as resonance. Resonance can travel along natural ley lines, water systems, wires, and indeed any living body tissue. Tesla also taught us that the resonance within the earth is a biogenerator, which can be tapped into. His patents show us that a torus wrapped with wire also conducts the frequency in a continuous circulating manner. This is the beginning of perpetual motion. Tesla moves into rodent. You can see how the coils are wrapped in. One is the cylinder, one is the toroid. Here we can see the rodent mathematics that gives us the vortex field around the toroid. And you can also see here the wire wrapped in the toroid of the rodent field. And you can see how it's quite thick there. It has wires coming out on either side, so there are 4 wires coming out. That is because you have 2 wires doing that, and they're moving around in that vortex field. And then on the far right, you see my coil that I started out being a woven coil and ended up being a woven coil because the wires are wrapped differently. Rodent flows into Jenny. Hans Jenny, who discovered cymatic waves, make sacred or biogeometric shapes which occur again and again in nature when the harmonic is in a pure or true tone. This will always occur.
Some technical difficulties. Okay, here we are again. Oh, let's go back.
This is cymatic waves creating shape. The PowerPoint wouldn't accept the YouTube clip, but we have YouTube clip to show you of the sand being moved around by the cymatic waves. But you notice, if you see it, that all of these change not only the shape, but the frequency that they're vibrating at. So that tells you something about the supergeometric shape. Cymatic vibrations are geometric shape, color, and numerical value too. The cymatic field creates a vortex field as well, as long as it is in harmonic with the Earth's resonant frequency. It is the Fibonacci sequence, the phi ratio. So our biological senses perceive it and respond to it, because everything on Earth vibrates to 433 hertz.
Okay, something happened there. We're having a little bit of trying to recover something here. Oh, we lost it. Yeah, we lost it. We're going to come back to it, and we're going to look at that clip that we went by. I'm going to call it up, and we're going to watch that clip. And I'm really sorry I couldn't be there personally. I'm telling you, it was a blessing to find a house, and that I had to move pretty quickly. So I'm just going to get this clip ready to roll here, and I will be able to. I'm glad I was able to share at least this with you guys. And here we go. So, yes, my kid said, "Oh, come back, Mom." So I did, and I wanted to, but I also needed to find a place, which I did, and I had to move the end of the month here. Oh.
Now, Dove Body Wash invites you to wear whatever you want.
We're not watching that. We're going to watch something from the Creator Studio here. One of the video clips I did. Interesting. Okay. And Here it is. We're going to watch something I did called Woman Worth Her Salt. And here it goes. Greetings, this is Suzanne 144. I am calling to you from the Okanagan Valley at this time, and we are going ahead with phase 2 of the Terra Garden project. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about phase 1. We had a really tremendous time going from the interior to the coast. We distributed 11 E-Coils into the environment.
Actually,
and
12.
About 3 times that amount of people that put them in their homes, their gardens, and a couple people asked for a little bit of instruction on how to do this. And so here we are. We have our bowl of water, and we have some salt. And first of all, always bless your salt. You say, however you believe, O Holy Mother, O Holy Father, deign to bless and sanctify the salt, so all good and only good shall come into it. And then you take, per cup of water, about 1 teaspoon into the water. Then you take your Cymatic Field coil, drop it in the water. So the antenna or grounding rod, depending on how you use it, will be sticking out. Now it is activated. You can activate them by sticking them directly into the plants, into the ground, putting them into running water, strap it to your body, even your pet. There are many ways you can do that. In this case, I'm charging a cutting. So these are the ways that it can be used. You can put them in your garden. And now I'm going to explain to you why you need to do this. Everyone, everywhere is being bombarded with chemicals, radiation, microwaves. All of these things are detrimental to our health, to our living and growing environment, and to our ability to assimilate sunlight. This is very important. These coils, whether you use the ones that plug in to your phone with the free app or ones that just use the Earth's frequency, these actually help your body combat these environmental damage that you're being bombarded with. And not only helps you, but when you have one and your neighbor helps one, they act in tandem with each other. So therefore strengthening that magnetosphere of healthy microbials, which are now being adapted, and your body is now making them faster than they could possibly before. And when you look at the deeper problem, the coils are a means to help us combat or help us cope with the things that we are dealing with. But the real problem is, why are we having to cope with this? Why have our governments sold our health down the river? Who ordered this stuff? These are the questions we need to address if our world is ever going to survive. We do not need to live in a slave society. We can all thrive. I have seen these coils work firsthand, and in 10 days, plant life response to the point of huge patches of flowers growing at an angle where the coils were for kilometers away. This is a tool we can use to help reforest, help our plants grow in difficult conditions. But we need the parliaments and the governments and the big business to get behind a humanistic society with an ecological outlook. Otherwise, all of our work is pointless. So it's really up to us to take the torch and run with it. Have a good day. Brownie's honor. Greetings, this is Suzanne 144. Okay. Okay, so that is my political and emotional standpoint. Let's continue on with this work. It seemed really relevant to share that stuff, and here we are. We're back now. We're moving from. We just covered Jenny's work. Now we're moving to Schumann.
Jenny moves to Schumann. The Earth's resonance is 7.8 or 432 Hertz. Everything alive that is born of Earth vibrates at this frequency. When this frequency becomes stronger, all biological life responds to it through our parasympathetic senses, and then our bodies naturally heal. When this frequency is interfered with, it creates an imbalance and our bodies get ill.
Yeah, somehow we got out of the presentation, but we're just going to watch it anyway.
To which I've added this sacred or biogeometric 12-point waveform. I discovered it quite by accident while making a woven coil in 2013. I twisted the wires together instead of leaving them open. And I realized that by doing that, I was
Oh, sorry.
To which I've added this sacred or biogeometric 12-point waveform. I discovered it quite by accident while making a woven coil in 2013. I twisted the wires together instead of leaving them open. And I realized that by doing that, I was completing the sacred geometry found in nature as shown by Dr. Mola and Jenny's work. And I studied Dr. Mola's work pretty heavily in my research for my first book, Reflections on a Near Universe, which is on Amazon Books. And I knew that the sacred geometry was present in molecular structure. And I realized that by completing that structure.
Wow. Somebody doesn't really want me to. So I'll just tell you. What's happened is when I put the wires together, I realized that we had the sacred geometric field. And that the Rodin way of doing things was not completing it. It was actually amounted more to like energy being wasted, to my mind. I thought that energy isn't being complete. It's not. It's being wasted. So when I twisted them together, and then I realized that the sacred geometry had been completed, and that the cymatic frequencies going through the wave field were going through the wave field because the wires were bundled into that shape. They were placed in that shape and then amplified further by more windings. And this created a naturally generated vortex field in the center of the toroid. And then I began to work with orgonite. And I started working with the orgonite. We started with ceramic. Then we went to the resin. Then I developed a natural field, organic field with sap and other things, and I developed the chemical soda salt formula, which basically gave it an extra charge, and using naturally occurring substances that are good for healthy potash nitrates, that type of thing. and moving forward from there. So we tested them. We found they're quite a bit stronger than regular orgonite. That first plant test we did study using just the toroid without the wrap, with no wires, just the toroid itself with the same formula and everything, and we found that the plants that grew with it only were very, very slightly bigger than the control group, whereas the one with the wrapping was literally, like we said, we got 90% in that case. So there's definitely a big difference. And then here we go to the primaries.
Okay, yeah, here we have the primary units. On the left we have the newest unit. It is this is the organic large primary unit with some gold leaf in there, and our most recent unit. This works on cymatic waves. You plug it into your computer or your phone, and you download a frequency generator, put it on the 432 hertz, and it works just fine. All the tests further in this study have all been done using the primary units. And then on your right, we have the primary 1 unit. You can see it there on the side of the part of my water purification unit. I moved it now. I used to have 4 of them on either side. Now I have the 1 on the top, and that is actually picks up the frequency and electrostatic energy from the inside of the unit, which I won't be going into here, but that it's the primary 1 that is feeding off the quantum field in the center of the box. And yeah, so let's move on here.
Okay, here we've got a couple clips to watch, so I'm just going to bring them up. First we'll listen to what it says.
Here are some clips of some actual digital microscope clips that I did. This particular photo is what happened to the water when we put it in front of the smart meter for 24 hours and let it run like that, and then we watched it under the digital microscope. And these black cells there, they continue to start eating up all the little cells, and they're just continuing, like they're taking over the surface of the water. They continue to getting bigger and bigger, sucking up the life force in the water. It's really quite amazing. And I'm not sure if we're going to run these 3 clips. If there is time, we will run these clips.
And we're just going to watch them. Might as well see what it is. That's what learning is about, isn't it? And so yeah, this was done with digital microscope.
New Jameson Healthy Sleep, a natural health product that helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer.
Just a compilation of some. Oh wait, let's turn that down. From tap water to the smart meter, you'll see at the end. Particles in the water. yeah, so that's pretty much it. You can see how the black cells, smart meter cells, are taking over the surface of the water, and it looks very much like it's sucking up the nutrient or the life force in the water as well. Although I wasn't 100% sure on the last part, but it certainly, from an observation perception, looked like that. And then here we have another one. And we felt this was an important one as well. Just 2 minutes here. And this is me testing this E-Coil, or sorry, E-Coil. It's a cymatic wave.
Hello there, hi, it's me, Suzanne. And we have a little experiment we're doing today. We're just going to test our meter here with our voltmeter. We're going to test the Cymatic water purification unit and show you what the readings we're getting. And it's just past Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to you. I knew you were waiting for me to finish this. Okay, so here we go. The voltmeter is on, and okay, go. I can take it off hold. There we go. Okay, so that's pointing directly at the box from a sideways position, and that's mini gauze. And you go here, and look how much it jumps. It jumps to 10.5, 8 to 10.
Actually, it was 15, but I didn't see that.
Coil. Okay. Now we're going to go directly at the. So we're getting 3.3, 4.6, 5. We got to 5. But we are right beside the power unit there. And now we're just going to test the actual water unit.
So there's a cymatic coil on top of the Faraday box, and they're
right in the center. We're getting 16. 190. Do you see my point? 190. So I'm just going to look at this. Hopefully it'll be okay, and then I'll post this. Have a nice day, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yes, in fact, that's what the reading was. I looked at it again. I think the highest reading we got from the plug was 8.9, and we were getting 190, and that was mini gauze coming out, and so that's 100% over unity, as far as I understand. Pretty sure. So we do need to get some validation tests done, and I am at this point putting feelers out for groups that might be interested in doing that. So yeah, contact me if you actually are interested in that. Okay, let's continue on here. There we go.
Microscopic test I did showed a 75% increase in healthy water microbes in 10 days. That's taking the coil in the water in a glass jar on top of the coil and testing that water with my microscope and taking observations. And you can clearly see a rapid increase in the microbes, especially with the organic species. They look faster than the stuff.
So, what's it about?
So, what is it about the 12-point wave field?
So, the geometric cymatic shapes occur everywhere that harmony or resonance is created in nature, and it is actually that cymatic frequency that causes the snail to have it in that ratio. It is the phi ratio, as we discussed, and but the 12-point wave field is what Rodin calls manifestational wave field. And there's probably a lot of reasons why. I mean, many people do different things with coils, but when we put it in this 12-point wave field, and he called it his term for it was that it was an interference wave, and he said, "Oh, this is a manifestational wave field." I do not understand what he means by an interference wave. Perhaps it is the manner in which he makes his with the two wires, whereas I use one wire. So in my mind, it's not interfering with anything. It's actually amplifying. It creates the sacred geometry. So, but what it does, its function, is, I'll read this. The wave field, according to Rodin, restructures damaged tissue and restores it back to its original state, as set forth by its DNA protocols and patternings. And this is valid for, as far as I understand, all biological tissue. It works for water, plants, people, animals, anything that's made of the natural building blocks and resonates with the 12-point wave field. So, here, let's move along.
Yeah, some tests that we did in 2015. This was in March. This was just starting with the Cymatic Vortex E-Coil machine. So we were testing the water running through the machine, and this is the beginning of our test. We'll just watch this clip.
Okay, so we're just going to watch this clip, and yeah.
Yeah, hi, it's Suzanne again, and you can hear the water going, and this is the machine working here. Got our power source there, and that's the C-coil.
E-coil now.
Salt crystal, copper piping, and fans moving there. So I just tested this water just before I got on here. And tomorrow I'll test the water again, and we'll see what we can do to get an actual comparison and some scientific results on how well it works. Hey, good day, it's Suzanne again. Finally got this thing working. So, yeah, here it is. The water is being recycled. Pump is working fine. Plates are spinning away. We have the coil set up, and it's actually hooked up to the phone, and it's so I can hook it up to the computer too. So as soon as I'm finished here, I'm going to put on the frequency. And I've tested this water, and before I started, under the microscope, and we'll test the water again tomorrow and over the next few days. And then we're going to take that same water and put it in front of our smart meter, and then come back again and recycle it, and we'll see what happens. So we'll get back to you. Have a good day.
Okay, so yeah, getting back to the presentation. So yeah, so let me just explain here. Now, then what I did was I made sure it was working properly, and then I refilled the water, and then I left it go. We tested it when I first put the new water in. Then we let the machine run for 10 days, and we the whole purpose of the experiment was due to something I had seen in the water. So let's listen to what the clip says, and then it is required. I'll say some more about what I found.
Yeah. So in May of 2015, I started taking microscopic tests with the digital. Note that my earlier observations written down on the Chinese form were done with a 1200 times magnification with a microscope that wasn't digital. And these pictures you see here are done with the digital at 1000 magnifications, which was the largest it would give. So what we found was a microorganism in the water that had tentacles and was thrashing about quite violently. And this observation was done in November 2014 with the 1200 times magnification microscope. So then in May, in April I started the Cymatic Vortex water machine, and I tested it to make sure it was working. And then early May, I refilled it, started it again. I had it running for about 10 days when I took these photographs here. And there'll be some links further down where we'll get to see exactly what happened with the transformation. But initially when I saw it in November, it had a minimum of 8 tentacles. And they were thrashing about. And then when we did the test here again in May, you can see it only has 1 tentacle. And it has this body of light in the very center of it. So we can clearly see that it is moving through a transformation. And then now you'll get to see what it ends up being.
Okay, we're going to just watch the clip because this clip is actually really important. First of all, a lot of people would be like, "What are you think you're doing?" I mean, I've even had engineers tell me that my coils couldn't possibly work because your input wire is attached to your output wire, but that is not the case. With cymatic waves, it works. It doesn't work when you put electricity. Electricity is different, but when you use cymatic waves, it does work. So that has to be some kind of a first in science, as far as I understand. Anyway, we're just going to go.
Today I will be doing the Tide Challenge, and if you don't know what that is,
So
it's
loud.
basically me wearing my favorite shirt and getting it at...
Okay, I'm going to turn this down. I want you guys to pay attention to the upper right, or sorry, upper left for you, at about 39, 38, 40 seconds. What you're seeing there is after 10 days, there's more light molecules in that water. You can clearly see the light molecules that aren't normally there. You see different clusters, and these are definitely light molecules in the water as a result of the cymatic waves. Oh, there he is there. Okay, here he is. Stop. Oh, we're going to watch that again. We have to watch it again. Oh, there it is. Let's go over that one more time. There he is. So look at that just one more time, and we'll try and stop it. Stop it right at 39 seconds. You can see it has definitely 1 or 2 movements. You can see that it's actually thrusting itself forward, just like an octopus does. You can see that it's definitely not something that should be there. So we only need to see that 40 seconds, because that's where it is. And then now we're going to look at Here, I'm going to show you the photographs, the video that came from the photographs, or the photographs that came from the video. And it's just as startling. Here it is here. You can see the light in its sort of its brain or brain center, and then it seems to try to make itself dark again, and that brain center turns dark, and it's switching from light to dark and changing its patterning as its level of aggression increases or decreases. It is definitely still trying to feed off of whatever nutrients are in the water or life force in the water. As you can see, it's thrashing about rather violently. There he comes back. Now he's trying to reach out. We only observe him with one tentacle here. But he may appear to be making another one right there. So this is the microorganism that's related to the black goo, and this is in our tap water, our regular drinking water, and our lakes and rivers, and yeah, it is amplified, or I shouldn't say amplified. It feeds off off energy, but in particular microwaves, super hyper evolving.